probably, I think, brought her in when she was very young and saw the potential in her. And so they've worked in tandem in some ways, in other ways not.
Barbara, you've dabbled in some other supernatural tales like the Insidious movies and way back in the Entity. Were you a fan of the original Omen, and do you look back on that a lot?
I did like it, and I'm glad I saw it before I knew anything about this and saw it with those kind of innocent eyes. And I've seen it again since doing this, and it holds up in a totally different way. But yeah, I like the genre. So, you know, some more than others, but I do like it. I like getting chills.
So we haven't seen this interpretation of it yet, but does it have anything in common with the Insidious films you did?
No. Not at all.
Different sort of scares?
No, they're both scary. That's about it.
So for female characters in horror films, it seems like they typically end up in movies like this and series like this, the villains, because it seems like the church doesn't give women power, but if you go to like the witchcraft world and the world of Satanism, they're equal opportunity, and sometimes the women are far more powerful than the men.
Interesting.
So what do you think about that in terms of this series? Do you think that's kind of the case here? Like, this is a nice balance between what you see and...
Well, it's interesting they made her a woman. They could easily made her a man. And I guess you fill those shoes, maybe. But they're very different. Yeah, it's good for me that he did. And he made her... It isn't just... I mean, my first question to Glenn when I read it was, is she human? And he said, yes. And I said, is she evil? And he said, oh, it's much more complicated than that. And it is. He's written an amazing character. And the relationships between all the characters are very fascinating. They're really different. It's not what you expect when you think Antichrist and Omen. It's really full of surprises. It's a wild ride that he's done. So, in answer to your question, she's not just one thing. And yes, it's equal opportunity, yeah.
You guys talked a lot about like working together on scenes and stuff like that. Is there a specific scene that you guys particularly enjoyed working on together that you can kind of tease and for the fans? And
He and I?
Yeah.
We just did one the other day. That was...
Yeah, I've loved the first scene that we did.
Yeah.
And the second scene.
It's a combination of, you know, when the writing's good, acting is like licking icing off a cake. I mean, it's delicious. And getting to act
and
with
when you're
Scott.
working with someone as talented as Barbara,
And Scott and Bradley is amazing as Damien.
It's a wonderful cast.
Yeah.
It's a great cast.
Yeah. And so we have a lot of fun. You know, we come into scenes going, we love this scene. And that's just a great way to get to come to a set, you know. We can't tell you details.
I heard a rumor that you're doing some of the nastiest stuff you've ever done in your career in this show.
That's not. I mean, I've been such an angel.
It's not hard.
I know, so sweet, isn't he?
He is a doll.
That they cast him for that.
No, it's very interesting. It's fun. Where do you get your rumors? It's an amazing. The scripts are wonderful. It's a pleasure working with Barbara and with Bradley, and you know I love working on it. It's a lot of fun, and I'm working with Glen Mazzara again.
Yeah.
You know, he was on The Walking Dead while I was there.
So is this kind of a nice way for you to like say, okay, I was Herschel for a while, I was a really good man.
I think there's life after this.
And there's life after Herschel. Exactly. And now I am not a really good man.
No, I love that show. I love the cast and the experience I had there. So there's nothing. I'm not saying negative about that.
But it's kind of cool to see another side of you where you get to be
It's fun.
the bad guy.
It's fun. Yeah.
You mentioned some of the relationships that go on in this show, this whole world. Can you tease us a little bit about the relationships, specifically with Bradley?
We're not. It is coy. It's that it's complicated. It's not just one thing. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and I just have been sort of shocked at what I've been given to do. And so our relationship is all kinds of things. I haven't seen anything yet, so I'm just sort of talking from this really subjective place. We're just reading the script and then acting in scenes, but I've been kind of blown away by the chances we've had, and I'm not giving you what you want, but in a way I'm very afraid of. I want you guys to get the pleasure that I get when I read the script, and I'm surprised. I think, oh, do I get to do this? Or how am I going to do this? Those kinds of things, that's such a pleasurable thing for an audience to get to feel without being told in advance what it is that's going to happen. So that's why I'm not trying to be coy, but I just think I want them to get to have that experience, because it's a wild ride.
It isn't really like someone being possessed, like Linda Blair and The Exorcist, where her head's spinning around. It isn't like that.
No.
I mean, it's even though that was a wonderful film, but it isn't.
It's very different.
It isn't demonic possession.
No. Do you know what it is? Is he's from the child in the Omen, he has blanked out what's happened to him. And at this moment in time, I mean, Christ supposedly took his mantle when he was around 30 and was crucified when he was 33. Damien is now 30. It's the moment. And he has no recollection. And so it would be as if someone said to you, you're the Antichrist. What do you do with that information? And that's what the first season anyway is about, is his response to that. And it's really fascinating. It's an interesting question. I had someone say, I said that to someone, what would you do if you found out you were the Antichrist? He said, I'd be so relieved.
Obviously, the original film is the touchstone and the inspiration for this, but did you guys specifically pull from anything else to prepare for your roles and to act in the TV show?
You mean other than my own badass life? I think every role you pull from your experience, you pull from
Observation.
And you try to put a spin on it the way you interpret what you're reading. So it's fun. I mean, the writers set the tone, and you look at it, and interpret it, and maybe make a comment. It's just totally fun to try to create different things, different people.
It's a grab bag doing a series for an actor, because you don't know what they're going to throw at you. You don't know what's in the bag. So you get thrown these things and you go, okay, and I just, why would she do that? And you talk to Glen about it, and it's just, it's like life. You learn as you go. So there is preparation. And the film was, most actors create a history for their character, but the film Omen is the history for all of our characters in a way. So that built in enormously.
It's a tone. It's the springboard to go where we're going.
Do either of you get to say the line, "It's all for you, Damien"?
Say what? It's all for you, Damien?
There's your answer.
I'm not going to say it. How far should be on our T-shirt, though, huh?
Right.
How far into the season are you at this point?
We're about to we're into filming the 8th one.
Okay.
And we just have read the 9th one. And there's only one more to read. So that's how far.
Wow.
And I have no idea where it's going.
That's what I was going to follow up with.
Are
you still in the dark on?
Completely. I mean, even though Glen has explained the wide strokes, I have no idea how it manifests. And I'm going like this.
How is it to be on A&E? Does that give you more
leeway with what you can and can't show, because A&E traditionally will show, darker stuff. And let you do more with it.
I think
It's
so.
very dark.
I think this is the golden age of television. In a
I
way.
think you were going to say the golden age of darkness.
Yeah. I think maybe that's a better way of saying it.
That's actually good, isn't it?
You can do a lot now. Talent is being drawn to cable, to different delivery systems that are out there.
But there are things in this you wouldn't want to show kids.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you.
it. Thank you guys, Glen and Bradley. Your
Would they
shirt.
see it?